I just want to talk briefly about working with the VMM console. The VMM console is your main management tool. You can use this to control all your virtual server hosts. It basically is a front end for PowerShell commandlets, and you can actually find this a little bit on a lot of the screens where you're at the end of a lot of the wizards where you're generating, say, a new template or a new profile or whatnot. You can actually find a export script button. You click that, what you see is a notepad window essentially with the auto-generated PowerShell. So PowerShell, of course, as we well know, is an advanced command line interface that gives us more features than our standard command prompt window. There's a lot more you can learn from it. The good news about PowerShell is all your usual stuff works inside PowerShell. So you start your admin console, you double click that the server cloud button. It'll give you an option. It'll give you an option as to what server you want to connect to. Localhost :8100 is perfectly fine. And then you get this, which is your main console. You've got your VMs and services workspace, which has your nodes, tenants, clouds, agile, VMware networks, storage, and all hosts, and you should see your own server under all hosts. And then you've got your workspaces, your VMs and features, your fabric, your library, your jobs, your setting. Jobs is a good way to look at what you've got overall. What you've had, what has happened recently, with the status of things, if they've worked, if they haven't worked, why not, etc. Actually, let me just keep going. So the VMs and workspaces, services workspace, of course, this allows you to manage your VMs. The all hosts node will give you a list of all the hosts that your VMM management server is managing. If you click one of those, it'll show the VMs that they're hosting specifically. If you click a specific virtual machine, you'll get its status. You can see your logical networks and your network adapters. You can see the number of virtual disks, their total capacity, your free space, recent jobs. Let me see. Now, adding a host to the console. So in your VMs and workspace, the services workspace, you right-click hosts, you choose hosts and clusters to add a resource, essentially. You're going to choose from one of those 4 locations. You're going to choose discovery scope. You're going to choose what group you want to add the host to. You're going to review your settings. You're going to review your... So it's like this. You choose your resource location. Is it in a domain? And you're going to choose credentials, discovery scope, and so on and so forth. And it will end up looking like this. So it'll grab it, it'll find it. This is actually your jobs window. You can see status, you can see recent jobs, what their current status is, if there's an issue, say, for example, if there's a warning or a critical error or something like that. And so, now, before I go too much farther, I'm going to stop here because the next thing we're going to do is talk about interacting with virtual machines within the all hosts node, which looks like, actually, let me start it again. So yeah, this is our virtual machine manager, connect. Of course, I could choose automatically connect just to save myself that step. And let me see. So it's going to think. So this is actually, I was trying to work with my templates. So actually, let me close that. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. I'm going to choose automatically. Connect. And then I'm going to go to, okay, my library, that's my problem. I was looking at my library. So VMs and services. This is my all hosts. I can see my VMs, my clone. It says failed because I was trying to create a template out of this thing. Overview. Let's go to the overview. So I have no tenants. Overview hosts. And so it's still thinking. I don't know what it's thinking about. There's almost nothing. I can see my fabric. I can see my library. I can see my jobs. I can see critical failures. I'm not sure where my history is. Last 24 hours. Oh, running. Okay, so there's that. And all of this takes us straight to, there's actually a PowerShell button right in here if you need it. Like everything else PowerShell based, installing this will install some new commandlets. And what I'm actually going to do is let this thing update some stuff because it's not quite behaving as it should. When in doubt, update the OS. Maybe something will come in and suddenly it will start behaving itself. Because the thing I've not been able to do is create a VM template that references this hardware profile, which is very definitely in my library. I can see it there. I can see it in jobs. It exists, but I can't do what I want to with it. So, see, there should be a VM template here. So, we are going to try that again soon. Thanks for watching. The next video will be working with interacting with VMs. Then we're going to talk about the Fabric workspace, the library workspace, creating a hardware profile, creating a guest profile, creating a VM template, the jobs workspace, which you've sort of seen already. And thanks. We'll keep going.